जी
Of course, Manad, if he's died on the 29th, then it's a different matter.
जी
Then, of course, my conduct would speak against me.
yes
But I submit that there's not an iota of evidence to hold that the doctor died
जी
earlier than the night intervening the 30th and the 1st.
जी
And if that is so, Milad, and
Ji.
since two people are living in that house,
जी
I submit that I cannot be made liable for this alleged murder.
आप इस थ्योरी को लेकर आए हैं क्या कि since there were two persons living in the same house unless नहीं ये आज जो आप आर्ग्यूमेंट कर रहे हैं
Gee,
वो सजेशन कहाँ है आईओ को
I don't have to give any suggestion, Milad. The fact is that two people are living in that house.
ओके
What suggestion can I give to the IO?
yes.
Milad, IO would have absolutely no idea
जी
as to who has committed the murder.
जी
So, Milad, the on the subject
जी
has been made up
जी
in 1996 7 SCC
जी
308. That it's not in that compilation.
ओके
Ask them to take the book out from your bookshelves.
बुक ना वेक
1996 7 SCC 308,
जी
paragraphs 22 and 23.
जी पैराग्राफ
22 and 23.
जी
Let here a girl was murdered inside the house, a married woman. That takes us to the last circumstance on which strong reliance was placed by the High Court for convicting the appellants. That pertains to the scene of offense. It is true that the scene of offense was shown to be the kitchen in the household of the accused, where all the four accused were staying. It is also true that at the time when the dead body of the deceased was found lying in the kitchen, witnesses Santosh Kumari, PW14, found that kitchen was in perfect order and there was no smoke in the kitchen. The kitchen was neat and clean and there was no smell emanating from the kitchen. But even if that is so, it is difficult to appreciate how this circumstance by itself points a guilty finger to the accused or any one of them, merely because deceased Krishna Kumari, who was staying with the accused, had died a homicidal death in the household, and her dead body was found in the kitchen with post-mortem burns. It cannot be said that the said circumstance by itself would connect all the accused or any one of them with the crime.
जी
And so far as motive is concerned, please have a look at the evidence of that cook who has stated against me.
जी
She is Milad Maya Gupta PW5. Third line minutes.
जी
घटना करीब के करीब 1 साल पहले डॉक्टर साहब के घर पर खाना बनाना बंद कर दिया था. Consequently, Milad, she has no fresh knowledge.
हाँ ठीक है that is true
Yes. Then she says, जब मैं खाना बनाने आती थी तो डॉक्टर साहब और उनकी पत्नी के बीच बहसबाजी सुनी है और उनका झगड़ा चलता रहता था. मैडम कभी कभी पूछती थी कि डॉक्टर साहब कैसे हैं, तो मैं डॉक्टर साहब को बता देती थी कि मैडम पूछ रही हैं. तो डॉक्टर साहब ने कहा कि तो मैडम को फोन नहीं उठाया करो.
जी
डॉक्टर साहब अच्छे स्वभाव के थे और मैडम शंकुला स्वभाव की थी,
शंकालू
शंकालू स्वभाव की थी. मैडम डॉक्टर साहब को शक करती थी कि तुम गलत हो, किसी को रखे हो.
जी
Please come to the cross examination.
जी
And he said, Milad,
जी
for last 8 or 9 lines,
जी
ये कहना गलत है कि मैंने जो बातें बताई हैं वो सब सुनी सुनाई बताई, स्वतः कहा कि जो देखा है वो बताया है।
जी
मैंने पुलिस को बयान देते समय बता दिया था कि मैडम और डॉक्टर साहब में झगड़ा चलता रहता था और मैडम फोन करती थी और डॉक्टर साहब का पूछता थी, तो डॉक्टर साहब ने कहा था कि मैडम का फोन मत उठाना।
जी
यदि मेरे पुलिस बयान दी एक में उन बातें ना लिखी हो तो कोई कारण नहीं बता सकते।
जी
मैंने पुलिस को बयान देते समय ये बता दिया था कि मैडम शंकालू थी और डॉक्टर साहब पर शक करती थी। यदि पुलिस बयान D1 में ना लिखा हो तो कारण नहीं बता सकता।
जी
So, I mean, vital omissions in a case diary statement.
जी
Now, how can we now believe her evidence?
Exhibit D1 is page number.
Then minute we have the Caesar. Before that, we have the evidence of a relative of the deceased,
जी
Chandilal Bajpai,
जी
PW4.
जी
And there's also a pen drive on the basis of which he says that he had made certain
वो
reporting.
मैडम ने बताया था 65B का सर्टिफिकेट नहीं लगा है,
Yeah,
वो देख लियो, हमने रिकॉर्ड कर लिया सब।
very well. So then that goes. Next of it, minute he says,
यही आर्गुमेंट किया था ना मैडम ने, 65B का सर्टिफिकेट नहीं है।
yeah.
जी
So I don't have to touch that. Case law, would your lordship like on that?
हाँ डेफिनेटली।
Yes. Minute, case law is,
एक एक कंपाइलेशन में से बताते जाइए एक एक करके।
yeah,
जी
yes. ये compilation में नहीं है sir. All SCCs I have not brought over there. This is 2027 SCC, page 1.
जी
Minute, your lordship's minute.
हाँ ठीक है ठीक है। एब्सेंस ऑफ 65B सर्टिफिकेट,
Yes.
ठीक है बताया था आपने। She has almost covered everything.
True. I'm just carrying it
जी
forward.
जी जी जी
Nothing more.
yes
Well, then we come to the seed of the discovery statement
जी
made by her.
जी
Well, at the time when that discovery statement was made, she was not an accused.
yes that is true.
And
इन्होंने कहा कि जब इनका 27 का मेमोरेंडम लिया गया तब वो एक्यूज भी नहीं थी और अरेस्ट भी नहीं, कस्टडी में भी नहीं थी,
yes,
इसलिए वो मेमोरेंडम जो है एडमिसिबल नहीं, दो रूलिंग भी दिया उसके ऊपर।
good. That's, well, I've got one.
मतलब
PIR 2023 Supreme Court.
आपने दे दिया था ये 2023 दे चुके हैं,
Very well.
उसको रिपीट मत करिए, दे चुके, पूरा कंपाइलेशन दे चुके हैं ये।
Well, apart from that, what I'm submitting is this, that this evidence has been planted on this lady.
ओके
Now, I say this
Hmm.
because Millet, police had already come to the house on the first.
हाँ एट हर इंस्टेंस
Inquest proceedings had taken place.
जी
It's a small house.
हम्म
A map of that house was then drawn on the 6th.
जी
So police were coming and going.
जी
The police would also know
जी
that shock had been administered
जी
and they would be on the lookout for some article as to how the doctor could have been electrocuted in the house.
जी
And despite that minute, till the 8th, these articles are not found.
जी
So it's a house in joint possession.
yes
It's not her statement that has led to discovery of any article. Her son is staying with her, a grown son. So how do we say that she was in exclusive possession of these articles?
जी
But so far as PW4 is concerned,
जी
apart from the fact that there is no certificate under 65B,
जी
the easiest thing in the world would have been for the police to have taken out the call detail records.
जी
Well, in every case that your lordships must be seeing now, all detailed records are there.
So what do you want to prove through call details?
Well, that there was a telephonic conversation between PW4 and the deceased.
Okay. Anyway, once you say that 65B certificate was not there,
Yes.
then that goes, that cannot be a substantial ground to uphold your conviction.
Very well, well,
So उसके बाद तो next argument की जरूरत ही नहीं है.
ठीक है.
हाँ, बताइए, please continue.
Just. So that's the law of circumstantial evidences, that there should not be another alternative.
Hypothesis.
Well, that is 2023, 3 SCC, 372, paragraph 43,
2023 3 SCC
372,
372 para 23
43,
43.
where they lay down the 5 golden rules.
वो तो शरद चंद्र विधि में भी है ना, वही
Yes, sir.
वही रिपीटिशन, सब वही रिपीट हो रहा है.
Yes.
जी.
Nevertheless, I am pointing out an alternative theory
जी.
that it could have been the sun. What they say is Miller.
जी.
So what it says is this, Miller. It is well to remember that in cases where evidence is of a circumstantial nature, the circumstances from which the conclusion of guilt is to be drawn
जी.
should in the first instance be fully established. And all the facts so established should be consistent only with the hypothesis of guilt of the accused.
जी.
Again, the circumstances should be of a conclusive nature and tendency, and they should be such so as to exclude every hypothesis but the one proposed to be true. So
Okay.
how do we negative this hypothesis that the sun could have come?
जी.
So I submit, Miller, number one, that there was no motive to commit any murder. The evidence of that cook cannot be believed in view of the vital omission in a case diary statement.
जी.
Number two, Miller, the
Cook is PW?
Miller, she is PW.
Right.
She is Maya Gupta, PW5.
हाँ, ठीक है.